Hello, hello all. Let's wait 2 more minutes for the rest of the participants and we'll start. Okay, I think we can start. Mateusz, please admit new people if they join later. Welcome all. We are starting the second edition of the EIT Health Sci-Fi project, Sci-Fi program from scientists to innovators for industry. That's the second year of the project implementation. We are planning 2 information webinars for the potential candidates in order to get to know more information about the project and also be possible to ask questions if you have some them. The first information webinar will be today, and the second on the 2nd of May. Let's start. What are we planning to have today? We are planning to do this webinar in 1 hour. However, of course, the time depends on the number of questions that you can have later. I will start, and I started with the welcome and introduction. Then we will have the element with course details and application led by Victoria Goldberg from the Friedrich Alexander Universitet. Then we will have a bit of insight from the last year edition made by Ronald Malea, who is the alumni of Sci-Fi 2021. Then there will be the whole question and answer Q&A session led by Anna Biegesdottir from Karolinska Institute and Victoria Goldberg, and some closing information made by me. We have many participants, so please remember to have your microphone off when you are not talking, because it's getting difficult to keep control on the meeting if we have so many people. You can write your questions on chat, or later during the Q&A session you can raise hand or just unmute yourself and ask the questions. The Q&A session will be after our introduction. And the first thing that you probably got already information from Zoom, that the meeting is recorded. The recording will be distributed to all of the project partners, as well as to all participants who registered for today's event. It will be put on YouTube, and you all will get the follow-up email with some information, and also the link to the recording from today's webinar. So those housekeeping rules. Let's start with a bit of introduction of our consortium. My name is Marcin Trzewski. I'm the activity leader of the Sci-Fi project. I represent the Center for Innovation and Technology Transfer of the Medical University of Łódź in Poland, one of the biggest medical universities in Poland, located in the center. Probably, let's say, surely, if you decide to take part in the full Sci-Fi program, you will be able to visit Łódź and join us in person during the kickoff event. However, the consortium is much bigger. I will tell you about the consortium in a second, but very important disclaimer, of course, the project is being co-funded by the European Union. We are here thanks to the EIT Health. EIT Health, let's say generally, EIT is the European Institute of Innovation and Technology, the agenda of the European Union, European Commission, and one of the areas in which EIT works is health. That's why we are here. The project is being co-founded by EIT Health. EIT Health is a pan-European network of various institutions connected with healthcare. We have many top-level universities. There are big companies, as well as research institutes, and so on and so on. And in EIT Health now we have even over than 150 world-class organizations. The main aims of the whole EIT Health is to, first of all, foster innovations in the healthcare systems in Europe, to accelerate the innovative startups, the business creation pillar, and also to educate students, but also in the case of the Sci-Fi to educate professionals, to give them additional knowledge and skills. Okay, we have the Sci-Fi project is created by the quite big consortium. I represent the Medical University of Łódź, but we also have Friedrich Alexander Universitat Erlangen-Nuremberg, far represented by Victoria Goldberg. In our consortium is also Maastricht University in Galway, Medical University of Gdańsk, Karolinska Institute, University of Copenhagen, Center for Genomic Regulation in Catalonia, Institute of Bioengineering of Catalonia, Institute Mainz Telecom, Barcelona Institute of Science and Technology, and Institute for Research in Biomedicine. Those are the academic partners, but of course, especially in the Sci-Fi project, also very important, or maybe even most important, are the industry partners, which are Boehringer Ingelheim, Philips, Roche, Freshblood, Medicine, Precision, Madopa, and DEX Innovation Center. The creation of the whole Sci-Fi project was preceded by the quite comprehensive study about the gap between the academic world and the industry world. Because we know, I'm also a postdoc, so we all know that the academic world is quite specific. There are other important elements than in the industry. So the whole study was conducted before the Sci-Fi creation, and we decided to create this project basing mainly on some kind of, here we have some kind of quotes from the people who were interviewed about, for example, the priorities that in the academic world, the scientific publications are the priority, not products that can be implemented to the society and in business. There was lack of support and knowledge from supervisors. how to commercialize research results. There were some kind of opinions about no valuable training available and lack of knowledge and skills that are currently needed on the labor market. So we decided to create the project, the educational projects for professionals. And this project, the aim of this project is to give you the new knowledge and skills, and just to fill the gap between the academia and industry. Let's start with some kind of activity which will allow us to get to know you also. Please go to the menti.com and use the code provided on the screen. You can also scan the QR code on the screen. And in a second, we will start little voting. Let's give me a second. The code you can see here is the same code on the top of the screen. And the first question that we have for you is, where are you from? We are waiting for your answers. We will see which one will be the most frequent. So at this moment, Germany is winning, and Austria, but also Poland. We have 21 votes, 22. Are we waiting for someone else? Okay, thank you very much for your input, and we can go to the next question, next and the last, because we planned only 2 questions today. What is your professional background? I can tell you that I'm the pharmacist by profession, and I was doing my PhD in the field of microbiology. So, but the first vote here was not mine. Okay, thank you very much. So we have a lot of different disciplines, however, most of them connected, of course, with medicine or life sciences, let's say generally. Okay, thank you very much for your votes and for your input. We can go back to the presentation and to the next step of the presentation. What to expect and how to apply to Sci-Fi 2022. And let me give the floor to Victoria Goldberg from Friedrich Alexander University.
Thank you very much, Marcin, and a warm welcome to you all. We're very excited to be in the second iteration of the Sci-Fi program. My name is Victoria Goldberg. I work at the Friedrich Alexander University in Erlangen-Nuremberg, which is in Bavaria, and I'm work at the Central Institute of Medical Engineering. Martin? Okay, I want to tell you a bit about the program and also the whole application process, because I think that's basically what you're most curious about. So what is Sci-Fi? Sci-Fi is a 3-month blended learning program. So it starts in the beginning of September and goes on to the beginning of December. And as Martin said, you know, there was a huge, researchers said there was a huge gap in knowledge. So what are we offering you? So we're giving you soft skills like communication skills, creative skills, business skills, and also very industry specific skills. And from the terms of who can apply, so either early career or researchers who are generally very, very keen to at some point in the near future transition to industry, from backgrounds, PhD candidates, postdocs, also clinicians. We also get the questions, yeah, can master students also go and apply? You can if you have enough experience in research. And from the background is basically what you've already just shown us is everything in medtech, pharma and healthcare. If you're unsure if you can apply, still go and do it. We've had, you know, people with a veterinary background come and ask, go ahead, because I think the more multidisciplinary it is in terms of healthcare, the more interesting it is for you to go and work in teams. So we are offering 2 tracks of the program. The one is a full program, so that is more time intensive. You have to reckon for about 4 to 5 hours per week. And then on the other hand, we've got something that's called the light program that is not so intensive. This is basically a self-study program that you go through and you have an input of 1.5 hours per week. So the full program, you've got 13 weeks of online learning. Those are the 7 core modules that we are offering you. And these core modules are always 90 minutes long, so approximately 1.5 hours. And then you've also got bonus modules that are very industry specific modules. You also have webinars to these modules. Webinars as in you have a Q&A, people, industry people will come and give a little lecture or a talk or a case study, so that can be varied. We are also, fingers crossed, we are also offering 2 live events, so the kickoff event in Łódź and then the final event in Vienna, and then we'll have a midterm event which would be online. Then you'll get a case study, an industry case study from our industry partners, and you also have module assignments where you work as a team. We'll also give you pitch training, so to gear you up for the final event in Vienna at Boehringer Ingelheim. So that will be the final big event. And for the live program, you'll have that online learning, but we'll also allow you to take part in the midterm event online so that you can also see, so what have they been doing, how have they been working at their case studies. I think it would be quite interesting to know and to listen into those presentations. And also together with EIT Work in Health, they're organizing a recruitment event, and we're opening that for both the live program and also the full program participants. So if you look at the program structure now, the core modules and the bonus modules, that is exactly the same. So you start off from the beginning of September, you have communication and collaboration, then understanding your customer, then going on to strategic management, project management, operational management, intellectual property, and then finish off with finance, market access and pricing. And you will also have the opportunity to do bonus modules. So you only have to take one of those bonus modules, but you can also say, look, I'm so interested in all 3 topics. I would like to do all 3. So we've got the regulatory affairs for medical devices as industry specific modules, then the digital transformation and GDPR and patient data. So that's the light program. And if in comparison, now we go over to the full program, you can see we've got the kickoff. So we've got the events inside there. We've also got mentoring. So we'll have mentors from our industry partners who will guide you along in the case study. And you also have the midway event and the final event and pitch training. And you'll also have the Q&A webinars as well. But otherwise, the structure is from the modules is exactly the same. So you have the 7 core modules and the 3 bonus modules as well. Just so they get a feeling, how does it work? Is this like all the modules open at once? No, we open them up one after the other. So the first module will be opened up in the 3rd of September, so the beginning of September. That opens up always on a Friday. So you've got a weekend as well to go and look at the modules. Especially, we know that you're all busy researchers and sometimes it can get very hectic during the week. So we are offering that you can also look at them during the weekend as well. And then you work on your assignment for that module, and you'll organize like team meetings with your team to go and work on this module together. And then you have a webinar or a quick Q&A at the end of the week, always on a Friday, and it's always from 3 o'clock to 4:30, and then the next module opens again. You'll see in the program structure that sometimes we have the modules are open for 2 weeks because the assignment is in such a nature that you need more time. So we've adapted a bit to make it stress-freer for you. So as I was saying beforehand, we've this year we're offering specific industry cases. So our 3 industry partners, so Boehringer Ingelheim, Roche, and Philips, are going to offer specific cases. We think about 5. We're still in the definition process of exactly of the cases, and they will be based on a real unsolved problem. And the industry partners will present those to you at the kickoff event. And then throughout the whole program from September to December, you'll be guided via an industry mentor who will tell you and give you feedback on your development of the case. And you will be put into teams, and that's something that worked really well last year, that we work in multidisciplinary teams. So we look at each other's background, your background, and we put you into teams, and also in international teams as well. And that worked really well and was enjoyed by everyone. And this is just more an overview to see, okay, what does the full program have? What does the light program have? So as you see, the light program is really the core modules and the bonus modules, and you will also have the mid-program event. It's not as time intensive, and you only have a participation fee of 100 euros. For the full program, the participation fee is 500 euros. However, I would like to point out we do have an early bird discount, so apply till the 30th of April, and you get 50% off. So you only have to pay 250 euros, and for that it's a real bargain, especially the context to industry is great, and feedback, the participants really enjoyed it. And last year we were all online because of COVID, so I think this year will give even better quality because we're meeting hopefully in real life. So just to wrap up, so it's a blended learning program. You get, loads of contacts to industry partners. It's challenge-based. You'll work in multidisciplinary teams. You also have access to the alumni network from EIT Health. And as I say, we're also organizing in combination with EIT Work in Health, a recruitment event. And we'll also have like a recruitment workshop at the end of a final event. We're at Boehringer Ingelheim, so you'll have loads of possibilities to contact people at Boehringer Ingelheim as well, and also with the other industry partners. So how to apply? So the application is already open. We've got the 2 information webinars. Then the registration closes on the 30th of May, and then end of July, the final list will be announced, who's selected, and then by end of August, all the contracts will be paid. How is the application process? It's really simple. You just go to the website, you click on the link, apply, and then depending on which program you choose, both of them are really straightforward. It's just an application form. You fill it out. For the full program, it's a bit more. You need to upload your CV and also a link to a very short video. Because naturally your background is important, but also your motivation is really important. And it's really nice to watch the videos and, see the people speak about themselves and say what kind of motivation they have to join the program. And that really helps us in the selection process. I can only mention again, till the 30th of April is the early birds discount. So really go ahead and use it. And then I would like to hand over to Ronald. I saw that you had joined. Ronald Malia has volunteered to give some insight from his perspective, because it's always one thing, us, the organizers, telling you about the program. So I'm going to hand over to Ronald just so he can give his insights, how it was, how he liked it, and yeah. Ronald, the stage is yours. I'll pass on to you.
Okay, great. Can you hear me? Okay, hi everybody. So I am Ronald Terrazas Mallea. So originally I'm from Bolivia and obtained my PhD in microrobotics. Currently I am doing a postdoc at the Polish Academy of Sciences with the goal to develop a machine to do automatic 2D and 3D cell culture. But the problem in my case was that I was coming from a different background. I was mostly basically a robotics engineer, but now I will be working more in the pharma and the biologic tissue engineering. So I really wanted to get into this program to learn more about the problems you experienced that are different from the ones I knew before. So that was one of my motivations to enter this program. And also I like the idea that we had mentors and professors actually working in the industry. Their comments and the feedback we receive along the program, like you should maybe think about this problematic. You are not taking this into consideration, but it's important for the industrial partners, was in many cases one of my favorite parts of the program. Being more specific on things that I learned, just to not say that was very general, especially in my case, I especially love the module of the strategic management, which are the values for which you strive in the company. Like it can go from something as dumb as I want to make other people happy to something like, wait, what's this one? Profit, but profit from work that benefits humanity, which are stuff that, okay, for some people are not motivated, but for others can be. That's something that you will decide. Another point that I really like was this idea of the big hack that you will eventually learn. Like one of my best examples that I found was that, yeah, the one I took this, become the company most known for changing the worldwide poor quality image of Japanese products. Amazing. And I'm sure you know which company is that one. Another module that I was the concept about how the balance between cost and quality, which basically will predict the success of your therapy. Does it make sense? Patients will pay for it? No. Is it too expensive? Is it too cheap? Does it actually provide value? From the other points. And my third skill that I love around the program was the learning about the nuclear weapon, which I consider, which is storytelling. Will you use it to manipulate people for good causes, for what causes? Well, that decision is up to you. And with that, I finished my presentation. I really encourage you to join the program. In the same way, I learned some stuff that I will carry through my career. I'm sure you will also get a lot of stuff for yourself. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ronald, for your input there. And then I will now pass you on to Anna Birgesotter from Karolinska Institutet. So have you, Anna?
Hi. I'm amazed how well you pronunciate my name. Hello, everybody. My name is Anna Birerstatter and I'm working at Karolinska Institute. And currently, I'm actually sitting in one of the museums, a science museum in Stockholm, because I also work with developing science museums. And I'm in this program responsible for the module 1, communication and collaboration, together with Boehringer Ingelheim. So I developed the content and I will be responsible for the webinar and also for the storytelling that you just heard about, but you can use to manipulate people. Just to give you a quick insight also that I have a PhD in tumor biology. So I defended in 2008 and it was called Transcriptome Analysis of Hodgkin Lymphoma Insight to the Microenvironment. And I knew already then that I didn't want to stay in science, or I wanted to stay in science, but I didn't want to stay in academics. I usually showed the Edvard Munch the scream when I want to describe how I thought it was to make a PhD. I don't know if you can recognize yourself in that. So I had the possibility to become a science communicator. So I worked as that for 5 years after my postdoc, and then I was recruited back to KI to work with bioentrepreneurship and soft skill training. So I'm responsible for several communication courses at KI. And now I would like to hear from you. What questions do you have? Would you like to sort of raise your hands and ask them out, or do you want to write them in a chat? You can decide yourself, but I would like to hear from you. And if you don't have any questions, we do have some we think you might have. But we want to hear from you. Hello. Maybe we should start then with the questions we are assuming, and then if the other questions come, oh, look at that. I was so handsome before the pandemic. So the first question we were assuming that you might have is, should I apply for both programs in regard like the light program and the full program or the deep program? So should I apply for both programs in case I don't get into the full program? And the answer is no. If you apply for the full program and then don't get a position or a place in the full program, you will be offered a place in the light program. So you can do either, like you choose one. Does Marcin and Victoria wanna oh, here we have something. Thank you, Joanna, hi. Is it obligatory to join the kickoff event in person, or will there be an online option too? What a good question. I'm actually gonna throw that back to Marcin, which is the host.
Okay, we are planning to make this event in person, and I think all the participants will get as much as they need to get when they visit us in person. However, we are thinking also about some kind of online transmission. However, I'm afraid that being online will not be the same.
Yeah, I think, it's all about getting to know your team. And that is just, of course, we did it already online last year, but it's so nice to actually physically meet people and get to know your team and who your team members are. So I think the kickoff meeting and the final event, they are really two very, very important events. So if from the beginning say you can't make it out of whatever reason, yeah, it would be sad because you're missing a fabulous, fabulous part of this program.
So it's definitely preferable to be at that, or mandatory to be in the program's live events. We have several questions in the chat, so great, you started. Karim is wondering, are traveling costs included in the cost of the whole program? And the reply to that is not, but we are looking into possibilities of covering parts of the traveling and living arrangements that you would have to do when traveling. So to a set specific price. And that again, I would like to see with Marcin if it was decided before I dare to say some. Or
I can help answer that one, Anna. So the traveling costs, you will get like a bonus. So we will pay or have a cap travel cost of 300 euros, but that was just the pure travel costs. So the accommodation, so the hotel costs in Łódź and the hotel costs in Vienna will actually be paid by the program. It is just the travel costs, and it's the travel costs from where you are resident to Łódź and then back again. But yeah, that's what we can offer. We've only got a very limited budget as well, but you know, we are giving you some money towards it. So 300 euros per participant for the full program.
David is asking how many slots are available for the full program. So that's 50 slots, 50 positions. Dibolina, I hope I pronounced that right. Hi. I'm actually from instrumentation engineering background, currently working on biomedical image and signal processing. Will this program be suitable for me? So yes, as long as you have some kind of life science associated practice and research experience, you can still have other types of backgrounds that actually increases the interdisciplinarity of the teams. So that can even be extra valuable that you bring that insight in. Carmen or Carmen, hi. How long should the application video be? Oh, I actually don't know that.
It's just a minute. So it was a minute, 1.5 minutes. And so it's really short. It's just, you know, very short and snappy to get a gist of your personality, yourself, and your motivation.
Oh, and hi, Johanna. She's coming back with a comment to her previous question about the obligatory kickoff event in person. And she says that, so if one day doesn't work, then she can't even join the whole program. I mean, as a comment to that, the program will run next year as well. I don't know if that's like a comfort at the moment, but there will be like possibilities in the future as well to take the program.
Which, yeah, Joanna, you can also write to us or write an email, because it's 2 days. So the one is the Friday and the other one is a Saturday. So I think the Friday is more planned as a more social event. So if you miss that day, that would, you know, of course it's sad, but it's not like super sad. But the Friday would be really important, because that's where the cases are presented in co.
Thank you. Awesome.
Fabulous.
So are there any more questions coming, or shall we go to the next planned question? Okay, let's take the next planned question, and then there might be some other coming as well. So the price is too expensive for me. Can I get financial help? So there are a couple of approaches to this. First of all, we have the early bird, 30th of April, that was referred to earlier by Victoria. So it's 50%. So it's a good bargain. Then we do have some positions funded, but there are some, what do you say, like, you have to fulfill certain requirements in order to be able to apply for those. And the first requirement is if you're from the Ukraine. Then we will support a couple of positions or slots. And the second requirement, or the second requirement, so that one is being from Ukraine, the other is being from what is called the risk regions to develop. Actually, I'm not sure how to refer to them, but in EIT Health, we have specific regions that are considered to be like, actually, I would need some English help here. I wouldn't say developing, but yeah. So if you are from these regions, and the countries that are included in that is, for example, Poland, Greece, Portugal, and the Baltic states. So you can go into the EIT Health website also to check if you are from one of the RIS regions. Thank you. Then we have some the Regional Innovation Scheme. That's what RIS stands for. So you can have a look at that. Thank you, Joanna. Then you have positions funded. So that's the opportunities that you have. Anything new you want to add, Victoria or Marcin?
The only thing that's super fabulous, Anna, the only thing that if you wonder how we select, so then in the application form, you'd have to write why you are needing sponsorship. And as an additional, you would need a letter of recommendation from your university or from your institute. But we are sponsoring 10 spots from 50. So I think that's really fair.
Good point. Thank you. We have another question from Joanna. Are the companies that give the study cases also involved in discussing them over the course of the program? Will we be confronted with real life problems along the way that we have to solve? So if I understand this question correct, I'm not sure, I would say yes. The cases are developed together with the partners in this program, and they are delivering challenges that they have at the moment. So it's not just that you are going to learn things, you're actually going to help the people that deliver, and it's going to be a real life challenge. It's like a reality-based challenge. It's nothing that we come up with from the whim, but it's actually a real problem that they're struggling with.
And I can add to that, actually, at the kickoff meeting, we're also planning to invite patients to this real life problem. And concerning the mentors, you will get industry mentors who are also the case providers. So they will guide you through this process from September to December and be your designated mentor for your team and help you with the case.
Yes, thank you. And it's true. So you are applying your knowledge and the things you're learning about in the online content that's going to be applied on the program. So yes, that's the educational method. Maybe next assumed question, if we were like not having any others. Oh, it's a bit of a related question to the ones we already discussed. Do I have to participate in all events, webinars, and complete all assignments? I would like, so the general question or the general answer to this is yes. But of course, if you are in a team and something happens, perhaps you and your teammates can agree upon you missing out on one session or something. But at least otherwise, you should definitely be focused on participating in all events and webinars. On what basis will we be selected? So there are a couple of pillars in the selection process. We're going to look on personal motivation. So that's one thing, personal motivation. We will look to fit to the program. Do you fit into the type of background? And as mentioned earlier, you don't have to be life science, but you need to at least have some kind of association or experience from life science, for example. So that's personal motivation, fit to program. And then the third one is ability to communicate. And that's going to be judged on from the application and the work you put in there and the film. So that's basically personal motivation, fit to the program, ability to communicate based on application and film. And we have a question. Hi, David. What communication channel will be used for the program? So we are going to be on an online platform that you're going to be registered to. And on that, you have films and texts. And then for webinars and that kind of work, we've been using Zoom. Was that answering your question?
Perhaps also we use Slack to communicate. So we have like various different channels. You'll have your own team channel, closed team channel, where you can communicate with your team members. You can also have one where you've also got your industry partner, your mentor inside, and you'll also you can be communicating with your tutors as well. So you'll have a tutor just to guide you through. They're not the mentors, but just to, if you've got any questions, hey, how do I do this, or organizational questions, or I'm ill, I can't come to the webinar, stuff like that. So you'll have a tutor for your team.
Great, Victoria, thank you. That's true. We're also using Slack. Karim has asked, is there a nationality requirement for applying? Does one have to be the European Community citizen or European Union citizen? And the answer is, you don't have to be a citizen, but you have to be living in Europe currently in order to be eligible for the program. Joanna is asking, so basically there is only the Friday afternoon appointment that we have to attend during the week. All other tasks we can organize in our own time. Yes. And it's not even every Friday. It's like every second Friday most of the time. Okay. Question, I have a master's degree, but I would still like to take part. Is this possible? So the question is, yes, but you need to show that you have some kind of research experience, so that you need to validate that. Any more questions coming in from the chat? I think you're really good at asking questions, so it's not like a... Then we have, I don't have an educational background in healthcare, can I still apply? And we already touched upon that from the question in the chat, that no, you don't have to have an educational background in healthcare, but you do need some kind of research experience from healthcare, so that you understand the lingo and can sort of relate to what is being talked about. But other educational background can even be like a good thing in this case. A question. Could you give an example of a study case from previous courses? The thing is that we're redoing it. We only ran this program once and we're redoing the cases. So giving you the example from last year wouldn't be fitting. So I don't think we can give you an example. Marcin and Victoria, what do you think we could say about this?
I think this is something that we've just started to do for this Sci-Fi. So the last Sci-Fi 2021 iteration, the teams came up with their own project idea, which was fabulous, and we were blown away by the results. It was incredible what they came up with from September to December. But we decided, and also with feedback from the participants, that it was very, very difficult to find a project at this time. We really wanted to solve an industry-specific problem, because I think you all benefit more because you work on a problem that an industry really has. It's a real-life case. It's beneficial for you, it's beneficial for the industry as well, because they can go and use what you've come up with. And that's why we also want to relate it to real patients. So that's why we can't really give you an example from the case study from last year. And we are really looking forward to these industry cases. We know that they are being developed at the moment from Boehringer Ingelheim, Roche and Philips. and it'll be very, very interesting to see what they come up with.
Yeah, I was actually like, maybe I can go and sneak peek, but it's like a work in progress. I don't know if I can sort of say something actually from what I would see, but yeah, I know it's a work in progress at the moment. Yes, was that the last assumed question that we had?
I think just to add on that, I think you get the gist as well. This program is not completely fully, we leave it, we've created it, we leave it, so we adapt. And I think that's one of the huge benefits of the program. We listen to our participants, we ask them, we want their feedback, also the bad feedback or the not so good. I can tell you the most of it was really super feedback. People really, really enjoyed it. And, you know, it's a great consortium and it's fun to work with, and it's fun to see the work that you come up with in those 3 months. But we really value the participants and what kind of feedback they give, and we adapt. And I think that's the nice thing as well. Thank you.
Yes, Ronald, I'm gonna give the word to you soon. I'm just gonna elaborate on that, because we do have like a user-centered approach. We teach innovation that is user-centered, but we also practice what we preach actively. So we do that also when developing this program. That could be like an interesting thing to know, that we are agile and entrepreneurial, having an entrepreneurial approach to it. First, Ronald was asking, can I explain our project as an example? And yes, why don't you do that very short, to at least give some kind of idea how it was to work together with these different kind of backgrounds and so forth. And then we take on David's question after that.
Okay, so for example, in my team, we had 2 persons working with gene editing and neurodegenerative diseases. One person was working with printing for producing prostheses. And it was me who was working in robotics engineering. So after a lot of iterations, what we come out with an idea to combine all our knowledge, that we wanted to make a 3D printer to print personalized medicines and try to focus it more on neurodegenerative diseases. Unfortunately, that is, at one point we got to that point, and then we started working on it, and then we started getting feedback from the industrial partners. One of the ones I remember the most, I think, was from Boehringer Ingelheim, that they told me, the problem with that idea is, Ronald, is too slow. It's the 3D printer will produce a pill like in how much? 28 pills in 8 minutes. For our industrial machine, that is just too slow. So you have to speed it up. And that, based on that feedback, we went through the final project. Okay, it didn't work very well, but we got a lot of ideas what would have gone wrong if we would have tried that in the industry.
Thank you, Ronald. David, how is the program perceived by industry partners? I just realized that perhaps we don't have any industry partners with us here today, but I would say it was definitely positive. I worked closely, as I said, collaborating in developing the communication and collaboration module together with Boehringer Ingelheim. And I think it's been like a very positive experience for the companies, and they're still on. That's also like, they haven't left us. When you're asking like how it's perceived by the industry partners, is it more like what they're gaining from it that you're reaching for, or would you like to sort of elaborate a bit on like the question in order to understand it? Or if Marcina, Victoria would like to expand into like your understanding of industry partners.
So I can give some feedback, definitely from Boehringer Ingelheim, because Victoria Cordela, who's worked with us, she put a lot of hours in. And just to give you a feeling, she wrote out to get mentors for the program, and I think she in the end came back with 20 of those mentors. And after the program, the mentors so enjoyed it that they said, oh, we want to take part again. This is so fun. It's so great. And so it seems like that we're going to have even more mentors because it's spread with so much positive word of mouth, that the people are really they want to help and they're very curious. And also, you know, what the industry benefit, they're in touch with super top-notch researchers. They can see them work, and they can collect CVs at the end and say, oh, this is what we do as a company. This is our entry positions, how you can enter our company. So it really works both ways. So for the participants, but also for the industry partners. Did that answer a bit more?
I think so. He also wrote like, but you answered it, thanks. He expanded into how beneficial it is for alumni from industry perspective. But he also felt that it was answered. We got another question. Do you think this course gives us competitive advantage if we want to move from basic research to industry at the end of the PhD? I would say yes. I would also say that this was the reason why this program was created to begin with, for those people who doesn't want to stay or feel at home in academia, to give you skills, the lingo and the understanding that you need in order to transfer with these into the industry setting. Also, besides that, you're getting a great network. As you hear here, we have a lot of mentors. We have several different kind of partners. Now Jana is also putting in the chat here that checking the LinkedIn of our alumni, I can say yes, many people were hired in the industry. So we see that also as a good proof of concept. So somebody want to expand on Veronica's question beside Joanna's contribution?
No, I think Anna and Joanna, you absolutely said what the really great thing is to see. If you go on LinkedIn and we see our alumni, and that you can see, hey, I've just started this position, and that's what, you know, that's what makes it so super for us as well, to see, hey, they've actually managed to go and transition to industry. So yeah.
Well, here's the question that I actually haven't got a clue about. How many people applied the course previously? Do you know Marcina, Victoria, or should Joanna Baranowska might know?
Yeah,
oh, there we go.
Over 130, yes.
Yeah, over 130. Thank you, Joanna, for having our backs in this statistics. Are there any more questions? It's like 1 minute left of the program. Like down counting, 3, 2, 1. Okay.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you, Anna. Thank you, Victoria, for this Q&A session. I will give just a few closing information. As I said previously, you will all receive the follow-up email with our contact details, also with the link to the recording of this webinar, to our promotional movie from us last year, and so on and so on. So you will get it soon. There will be also email addresses to us and the link to the EIT Health website where you can apply to take part in this program. The application deadline is the 30th of May. And of course, later, after being admitted to the program, you also get all the advantages of being the EIT Health alumni, because there is a centralized network of the alumni of all EIT Health projects. And of course, it also applies to Sci-Fi. Victoria, would you like to say something more, because you are unmuted?
Sorry. No, I just wanted to add, do not forget the super early bird bonus that you can get till the 30th of April. It really makes sense. And I hope that we see many of you apply, and I can watch loads of lovely videos that you send to us. And do reach out to us if you have any questions. And thank you for your time today. And
of course, if you have any other colleagues or friends who would be also interested in the project, please give them the information. And please remember that we are going to have the second information webinar on the 2nd of May. However, it will be after the early bird deadline. So the sooner the better. Okay, so thank you all, and we'll wait for the follow-up email from us. See you soon. Have a nice evening and weekend.
Have a lovely weekend, everyone.
Have a nice weekend. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Enjoy your weekend.
Okay, so bye. Have a nice weekend.
Have a nice weekend.
Have a
Let's catch
lovely
up some other
weekend.
time.
Anna, thank you very much.
Thanks.
And Mateusz as well.